Thanks to you mad lads, we hit the like goal on the previous How Strong is Bucky video. So as always, 1000 likes on today's video and I'll continue this series for Bucky characters. Also make sure to comment who you want next down below. Now on to How Strong is Pickle, best dinosaur boy from Bucky. Apart from being one of the oldest known characters throughout the Buckyverse at around 190 million years old, he's also one of the biggest, being 8 foot tall, so around 245 centimeters, and weighing at least 200 kilograms. Man is absolutely beyond built. And I personally like to believe he's the first Hanma in the series, which may explain his overwhelming strength. So let's get into Pickle Hanma's power. Man 1v1'd a T-Rex and won. Pickle literally choked out a T-Rex. Quick reminder that this is indeed a martial arts series if you were stunned a bit too much from that, reveal. I honestly don't blame you. Not as impressive as choking out a T-Rex, but does a similar thing to a giant alligator. So pretty much, Pickle is the real king of stranglers. Wait, wrong series. Pickle the Grappler spin-off when? Now let's see some lifting strength. I hope you didn't expect some conventional weights. We are talking about dinosaur caveman Pickle Hanma, of course. But I would say this is probably the best lifting feat in the Buckyverse that I could remember at least. I searched up the weight scientists think dinosaurs were, with the heaviest being around 77 tons. So let's say this one in the panel is 50 tons. It could be a lot more, could be less, I honestly don't know. So if it's 50 tons, that means Pickle is lifting up 50,000 kilograms or around 110,000 pounds. Well, that's something. When Pickle just throws bullets faster than what a gun can shoot them, just a little bit of flexing, you like to see it. What happens when Bucky tries to fight Pickle with nothing but strength? Remember, this is Bucky after defeating Oliver in a similar way. As expected, he got absolutely destroyed by Pickle. So in short, if Oliver did actually fight Pickle, he would have died real quick. Probably a good snack for Pickle, I would say. So hopefully after Oliver has taken all these L's recently, he'll get a redemption arc or a redemption moment soon, but I don't think he touches the likes of Pickle. Literally gets called King Kong, which is quite funny. Puts a dent in a 30 centimeter thick wall of this material. You can search this material up in your own time, but it's pretty strong considering it was 30 centimeters. And it wasn't him actually punching it, it was him attacking Miyamoto and Miyamoto slamming into it. So if he was to straight attack it, he could probably do a lot more. Imagine if Pickle became a swordsman. If he can do this with raw power alone, imagine how OP he would be with skill. Probably just absolutely clap people. Breaks the same type of door that was broken by Yujiro at some other point in the series, and of course the other comparison with Yujiro. This is when they had a direct strength comparison when he was initially first introduced, or early Pickle arc. Many people believe Yujiro won this as he stated something around he used a trick, so kind of implying Pickle cheated. But over time, people have looked at that fight again with the Japanese raw version and have created a better translation to find that Yujiro really said, he made me use a trick. So Yujiro was the one who kind of cheated during that exchange, which makes sense in that, scene's context anyway. So it's pretty much safe to say at this point, Pickle is the strongest when it comes to raw power or strength in the Buckyverse, at least for today's recording. Now let's go over some speed stuff. He did a similar thing in the Jack fight to completely blitz Jack, but Retsu states when Pickle's fighting Bucky that his movements are almost impossible to catch, just like lightning. It's kinda hard to gauge how fast this is, but he's pretty much able to completely blitz Jack with the same thing and be comparable to Bucky for a majority of the fight using this insane speed. Another top tier when it comes to speed, Musashi Miyamoto states that Pickle is really fast, and in the panel here you just see a blur as Pickle is charging him, which is pretty impressive. But as I mentioned, this pretty much means Pickle is comparable to the other top tiers when it comes to speed in the Buckyverse, so characters like Bucky, Yujiro and Musashi. But take note, they do have better speed feats throughout Bucky compared to Pickle, but he's pretty much somewhat on the same level or comparable in some regards. Now onto his durability. He's able to easily surpass multiple vital shots and beatdowns from the likes of Retsu, Katsumi, Jack and Bucky without any real major damage. He does bleed from some of them, but as a whole this absolutely tanked through many attacks to a point where his opponents get more injured actually attacking him than what he does. Then we have his fight against Miyamoto. Musashi was aiming to cut his head clean off, but failed due to Pickle's almighty neck. His face also tanks his blades, which is pretty insane, doesn't even cut, so I don't know how that works, but Pickle, strong face gang. And what's most important, he survives the legendary nutshot from Baki. And as I mentioned regarding his neck, the manga compares it to a bull's neck in thickness, meaning he's pretty much immune from getting his brain shaken to knock him out like that, and that's another reason why he's able to tank so many head blows from various people. Now some hacks and some other cool things about this monster. He has insane potential when it comes to learning something like martial arts. As Baki states, he mastered the basics of recent arts like Aikido without knowing it, with this adding to the reason why I think Pickle's part of the Hanma family. He's literally described as an anti-human creature, which may explain why only demons like Baki and Yujiro can face him and other monsters like Miyamoto. And to end today's video, we have his ultimate form or full power Pickle, with his muscles being capable of stopping the flow of blood or to stop bleeding, as Musashi stated. I'm guessing he has overwhelming strength in this form as well. I hope we get to see the return of Pickle again at some point in the series, as his last appearance was during the Musashi arc. As a whole, regarding the Buckyverse, I still have him in the top 5 strongest, most likely after the likes of Baki, Yujiro, Yuichiro and Musashi. At today's recording, we currently have Big Sumo Dude fighting Yujiro, so we'll see what happens with that. But for me, Pickle sits right after the previously mentioned people in my own power ranking, so still above Sukuna when it comes to overall power. One funny part I do like about Pickle is of course his primitive nature, which also forces him to run away full speed when his life is threatened. One of the funniest panels, or some of the funniest panels in the series. And don't forget, his biggest weakness of course is a wasp, the kryptonite of the almighty Pickle. And before ending today's video, I wanted to mention the anime, the new anime season that's coming out this year. As we know, we're getting the Baki training arc and the Baki vs Oliver prison arc. Regarding the manga, the Pickle arc is meant to come after that, but based on all the trailers we've gotten so far and the opening that recently came out, I don't think we're actually going to get the Pickle arc in the next anime season, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's honestly better for pacing and it will demonstrate the greatness of the, prison arc more so if the pacing is better, so they can get all the fights in and everything like that. And it will probably only be a 12 episode season. We may get the reveal of Pickle at the end or something cool like that. But yeah, the season after the current one that's coming out will have the Pickle arc, so stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe. As always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. If you want to support the channel as well while receiving various benefits, check it out, linked in the description. But yep, that's it guys, peace.